Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Yes, dear students, welcome to Biology online classes. Okay, I'm sure that you are all doing great. Today's session is of CET and NEET session. So you know what is the importance of CET and NEET. I have already explained in my previous video classes about that. Okay, now we will start with the first chapter, that is living world, and what are the different kinds of questions can be asked for these various competitive exams. So in this particular chapter I have taken 30 different MCQ objective type of questions and I have solved it for your reference. Similarly, there are many questions are available in different CET NEET books, reference books are there. So you refer those questions and solve by your own, and if you have any doubts you can ask your teachers. Okay, as you know, CET means it is categorized into either PCM or PCB. Each subject there are 60 questions, physics 60, chemistry 60, maths 60 and biology 60. So out of these 60, you have to score maximum 60 on 60 to get into good colleges. Only practice will make you perfect, students. Practice, practice and practice. That is the only one solution. So as the chapters are completed, we have to take the CET classes so that the concepts will be remain in your mind and it is easy to solve these questions. Okay, so these are all MCQ type of questions. There will be 4 options. You have to choose any one. Then you have to analyze why the other 3 are not correct, why they are incorrect, why only one is correct. That is why these MCQ questions are analytical type. Okay, so we'll start with the first chapter, that is living world. Now, if you see the living world, the weightage for this chapter, there may be only one question may come for the exam, whether it is CET or NEET. CET, for every correct answer there is 1 mark and there is no negative mark, but there is negative marking for NEET exam. In the NEET exam, for every correct answer there is 4 marks, and if you go wrong the next question or the successive question, then you will lose 1 mark, that is -1 for each negative answers. So you must be very careful. Okay, so you need more and more practice. Okay, so I have written the questions on the board, then I will read you the options. You analyze and tell me what are the correct options for these questions. So I'll read you the first question, question number 1. So already the theory part is over. So now your memories are very fresh. As we go from species to kingdom, in a taxonomic hierarchy, the number of common characteristics, taxa means categorizing, isn't it? So when you go from species to kingdom, what happens to the number of common characteristics? So your options are A will decrease, B will increase, C remain same, or D may increase or decrease. What is the answer, students, for this? From species to kingdom, in a hierarchy, the number of common characters, the species are those members who resembles each other more in their common characters when compared to genus or family or order or class or phylum or division or kingdom. So this is a hierarchy, correct? The basic unit of classification, species. Then species, after that genus, correct? Family, order, class. Then comes the phylum in case of animals, division in case of plants, and then comes the kingdom. So, as you go from species to kingdom, common characters will decrease. So, you have to mark the option A. Decrease. Species resembles close to each other when compared to genus. And in the kingdom, when you talk about the kingdom, it's the topmost one in the hierarchy. There are plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Plants and animals are totally different from each other, isn't it? So there is not much close resemblance when you take into consider different characteristic features. So students, will come to next question number 2. Which of the following suffixes used for units of classification in plants indicates a taxonomic category of family? Here they have given suffixes. Prefix means you use before, suffix means you use after a particular word. So, which of the following suffixes used for units of classification in plants indicates a taxonomic category of a family? They are not asked about the animals, they are asked about the plants. So, what is the suffix? Family where ends. You have studied 4 different organisms classification in your first chapter, Living World. If you recollect them, what are those? First one, we'll take mango. Okay, so it belongs to kingdom Plantae. Then division Dicotyledone. After that, class Sapindales. So class names ends with the suffix here ALES. Division name ends with ONAE. Kingdom name ends with AE. Now here, after that, order. So to which order they belongs to? And which family they belongs to? Sorry, class is not Sapindales, I am very sorry. One minute. Genus, and then comes the species. Okay. So division is Angiospermae. Sorry. That means all flowering plants are included under angiosperms. Then comes the class is tell me, dicotyledone or monocotyledone? They have 2 cotyledons in their seed, so dicotyledone. Then comes the order Sapindales. Then comes the family Anacardiaceae. Then comes the genus Mangifera. Then comes the species Indica. So the genus name always starts with the capital letter and the species name always with the small letter. So here family name ends with ACAE, order ALES, NAE, ONAE, class name, division MAE, AE, kingdom. So just see, family name ACAE. So where is the option? Option 3 or C. Correct? Similarly, few more examples what you have studied. Say for example, wheat. You studied wheat. So that is kingdom Plantae. Then division Angiospermae once again. Then class it is Monocotyledon because the seeds have only one or single cotyledon. Then order Poales, family Poaceae. Then genus. So Madmat means ACA ends with the suffix family. Correct? Then genus Triticum. Then species Aestivum. Triticum aestivum, that is the scientific name of wheat. Similarly, you take one more, third example, that is man. Kingdom Animalia. Here no division comes, phylum comes, phylum Chordata, even subphylum is Vertebrata, that is not given. So class Mammalia, then order, which one? Humans belongs to which order? Primata, okay. Then to which apes and monkeys also belongs to. Apes, monkeys and humans belongs to the same order, that is the order Primata. Then comes the family Hominidae, that is DA in case of animals, but here they have asked about the plants, so ACAE. Then comes Homo is the genus, Sapiens is the species. Similarly, one more example, that is housefly, scientific name is Musca domestica, Musca genus name domestica, species name. Again kingdom Animalia, then phylum Non-Chordata, then class, which class it belongs to? Class Insecta, phylum Arthropoda, class Insecta, then order Diptera. Mucidae is the family name. So in animals, in the family, it ends with the suffix DAE, correct? So that is very important question for your NEET. You can expect such type of questions. Same questions will not be repeated in either CET or NEET, but such types of questions they are going to ask students. Okay, so you need to practice similar type of questions. So we will move to the third question. The term systematics refers to, 4 options given. Read the 4 options carefully first. First you need to understand the question properly, that is more important. So if you don't understand at once, you read it 2 or 3 times. First you understand the questions, then also read all 4 options. Don't come to the conclusion by seeing first options itself. Okay? Because the other answers may be relative. So you have to analyze all the 4 answers, all the 4 options. See the first option, say identification and classification of plants and animals. Nomenclature and identification of plants and animals. This is incorrect because after identification only you will give the nomenclature, not before nomenclature. ಮಗು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾಮಕರಣ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಹುಟ್ಟುವ ಮೊದಲಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಗಂಡು ಮಗು ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಗು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. So that cannot be a correct answer. Then see the C1, diversity of kinds of organisms and their relationship. Diversity of kinds of organisms. Diversity of kinds of organisms and their relationship. That is not systematics. Different kinds of organisms and their classification. No. Term systematic refers to what? Identification, nomenclature and classification. ಆ nomenclature ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇರಬೇಕಂತಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇದು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಫರ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ಸ್. ಕಾರ್ಲಸ್ ಲಿನ್ನೇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ರಿಟನ್ ಇಸ್ ಬುಕ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮಾ ನ್ಯಾಚುರೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಎ is the correct one. Next we will move to the question number 4. Genus represents, 4 options are an individual plant or animal, option B a collection of plants or animals, option C group of closely related species of plants or animals, and option D none of these. Genus ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಲಿ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಜೀನಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಲಿ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಜೀನಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಸಿಗೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ಲಿ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಸಿಗೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೀಗೆ hierarchy and classification continues. So students, what is the correct option? Option C is the right one. Correct, huh? So this is the pattern how you get the questions for your various competitive exams like CET as well as NEET. We'll come with the more questions. So we have started with the CET NEET classes. For the first chapter we already started, that is living world. We have discussed the 4 questions. Now the 5th question. The taxonomic unit phylum in the classification of animals is equivalent to which hierarchical level in classification of plants? Once again I'll read the question. The taxonomic unit phylum in the classification of animals is equivalent to which hierarchical level in classification of plants? Phylum is equivalent to, phylum you tell in case of animals, ಅದರದ್ದೇ equivalent ಯಾವುದಿದೆ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ, ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ. ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಡಿವಿಷನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ. I don't think you have any doubt in this particular question. So we'll move to the next question. Question number 6. Botanical gardens and zoological parks have 4 options are collection of endemic living species only, collection of exotic living species only, collection of endemic and exotic living species, or collection of only local plants and animals. What is the answer for this? Collection of endemic living species. Endemic means which is only restricted to that particular area only. It will not found anywhere else. ಓಕೆ, ಆ ರೀಜನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮಾತ್ರ, ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಮಂಕಿ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಲಯನ್ ಟೇಲ್ಡ್ ಮಕಾಕ್ ಅಂತ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ದ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ ರೀಜನ್. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಎನಿವೇರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಲಯನ್ ಟೇಲ್ಡ್ ಮೆಕಾಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಂಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಟು ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ ಏರಿಯಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಆ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದರೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಸಿಗದಿದ್ದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಆ ಏರಿಯಾದ ಎಂಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಎಂಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಬೊಟಾನಿಕಲ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಝೂಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಎಂಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರುವುದಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಡೂ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸೋಟಿಕ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಹೊರಗಿನಿಂದ ತಂದಂಥ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರ್ತದ, ಅಥವಾ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೋತ್ ಎಂಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೋಟಿಕ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. ಒಂದು ಬೊಟಾನಿಕಲ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಝೂಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೋತ್ ಎಂಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ಎಕ್ಸಾಟಿಕ್ ಹೊರಗಿನಿಂದ ಬಂದಂಥ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅವುಗಳ ಪ್ರಜನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವುಗಳ ಆಫ್ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್, ಅವುಗಳ ಮರಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಲಾಗ್ತದೆ ಈ ಬೊಟಾನಿಕಲ್ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಝೂಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಅವುಗಳದೇ ಆದಂಥ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ಯಾಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಅವುಗಳ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟುಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸರಿಯಾ? ಸೊ that is the main purpose of having these botanical gardens as well as zoological parks, as well as they give scientific knowledge for the study or the education purpose. There are different varieties of different scientific names of botany, plants and as well animals you can learn, their characteristics, their identifying features, their nomenclature and classification system you can learn. So it is educative purpose, botanical gardens. Also it gives beauty, aesthetic value, andre beauty it increases. Okay, it gives pleasure, it gives joy to the children as well as to other people. So variety of plants as well as animals are kept in the captivity under human observation in botanical gardens as well as in the zoological parks. So collection of only local plants and animals, it cannot be an option. So the right option is the option C. Okay students, shall we move to the next question? Yes. Question number 7. Taxonomic key is one of the taxonomic tools in the identification and classification of plants and animals. It is used in the preparation of A. monographs, B. flora, C. both A and B, and D. none of these. What is the answer? Now what is a monograph? Monograph means it gives the information about any particular or any one taxon, ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಾನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ, ಅದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಜೀನಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸ್ಪೀಸಿಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಾನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಿಂಗುಲರ್, ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ಲೂರಲ್, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಾನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ದೆನ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ monograph. So what is a flora means? Flora means a particular plant population or particular plant species is found in particular geographical area, distributed in a particular geographical area, that is called as flora. For example, flora of Western Ghats, flora of Mangalore, flora of Mysore, let's say, correct? ಒಂದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಮಂಗಳೂರು ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕಾರ್ಕಳ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್, ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟೆಡ್, how many plant species are there distributed in a particular geographical area, that represents the flora of that particular area. So taxonomic key, andre it is one of the taxonomic tools in the identification and classification of plants and animals. So it is used in the preparation of both A and B, that is here both monographs as well as the flora, not none of this. So the correct option is option C. Got it? We will move to the question number 8. All living organisms are linked to one another because options are A. They have a common genetic material of the same type. They share common genetic material but to varying degrees. All have common cellular organization, or D. all of above. All living organisms are linked to one another because why? They have a common genetic material, correct, but to varying degrees. ಒಂದು ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು DNA ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಡಿಆಕ್ಸಿ ರೈಬೋಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ RNA ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಬೋಸ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಆ DNA ಡಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಡಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅಥವಾ RNA ಇರೋದು ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಡಬಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ RNA ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಕಾಮನ್ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಬಟ್ ಟು ವೇರಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್. ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಮನುಷ್ಯರಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಮನ್ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಇದೆ, DNA ಇದೆ ಅಥವಾ DNA ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಟು ವೇರಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಈಗ ಗೊರಿಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮನುಷ್ಯನನ್ನು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಎರಡು DNA ಇದೆ. ಆದರೆ DNA ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟುಂಟು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಗೊರಿಲ್ಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್, DNA ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಟು ವೇರಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್. ಆಲ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಟು ಒನ್ ಅನದರ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಕಾಮನ್ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಬಟ್ ಟು ವೇರಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್. ಒಂದು ಕಾಮನ್ ಜೆನೆಟಿಕ್ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ. ಇವಾಗ DNA ಇದೆ, RNA ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ DNA ಇದೆ, RNA ಇದೆ, ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ RNA ಇದೆ, DNA ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ವೇರಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, so the right option is the option B. We'll move to the 9th question. Which of the following is a defining characteristic of living organisms? Living organisms na defining characteristic ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ 4ರಲ್ಲಿ. A. growth, B. ability to make sound, ಸಿ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್, ಡಿ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಸ್ಟಿಮ್ಯುಲೈ. ಈ ನಾಲ್ಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಫೋರ್? ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋವಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಫೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್? ಅದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೌದು, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಡಿಫೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ಹೇಗೆ? ಅಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಸೌಂಡ್, ನಾನ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಮೇಕ್ ಸೌಂಡ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. Reproduction is not truly true for all the living organisms. There is an ambiguity in this, confusion. There are organisms like mules, they will not reproduce at all, they are sterile. Mule andre enu? Male donkey matte female horse. Male donkey is called as jack and female horse is called as henny. ಈ jack ಮತ್ತು henny, ಮೇಲ್ ಡಾಂಕಿ ಮತ್ತು ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಹಾರ್ಸನ್ನು ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಆಫ್ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್, ಯು ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಮ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಮ್ಯೂಲ್? ಮ್ಯೂಲ್ is a sterile organism. You get it by crossing of male donkey with the female horse. So that male donkey is called as jack and that female horse is called as henny. This is a biological symbol for male and this is the biological symbol for female. Got my point? Okay. So they are sterile. Then there are sterile worker bees in honeybee colony. Sterile worker bees. There are sterile females, sterile worker bees. They cannot reproduce. Their only work is to do the all work of the bee, of the honeybee colony. There are worker bees which can clean the beehive. There are workers which can defend the colony. There are worker bees which collect the nectar and pollen grains. There are worker bees which collect these pollen grains and feed to the other members of the colony. There are worker bees who can clean, swipe the honey bee, the bees colony, okay, and they keep the colony very clean. Okay, so those are the works of sterile worker bees. They cannot reproduce. Further, in unicellular organisms, say like bacteria or amoeba, you take entamoeba. Okay, their growth as well as reproduction are synonymous, can be used. ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಸ್, ಅದು ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಸೊ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಮೋಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಡಿಫೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಸೌಂಡ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲ. ದೆನ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್, ಓಕೆ, growth, non-all living organisms can also temporarily grow from outside. That process is called as accretion. What is called as accretion? For example, ಈಗ ಮೌಂಟನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಪರ್ವತಗಳು, ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮೌಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಮರಳಿನ ದಿಬ್ಬಗಳು, ಅಥವಾ ಬೌಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಬಂಡೆಕಲ್ಲುಗಳು, ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊರಗಿಂದ ರಾಶಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಟು ದ ಮಾಸ್, ಅದು ಮಾಸನ್ನು ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So such growth from the external source, that is called as accretion. Now there is one more type of growth, that is called as intussusception. What is this intussusception? Growth from inside, that is internal growth, is called as intussusception. Andre iga if you take a cell wall is made up of a material called as cellulose, which is a type of complex polysaccharide. Addition of this cellulose material from inside the cell wall in case of plant cell, that is an example for intussusception. Cell wall material ಏನಿದೆ, that is cellulose, ಅದು ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗಿನಿಂದಲೇ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಂಟರ್ನಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆ್ಯಡೆಡ್, and that process is called as intussusception. So growth may be of two types, external, then it is called as accretion. From internal, then it is called as intussusception. So living organism as well as non-living organisms, non-living organisms can temporarily show growth because they increase in their mass. So that is one of the character of a growth, increase in mass as well as increase in number. So that cannot be a defining feature of living. So what left next is option D, response to external stimuli. Yes, that is the correct, that is the right option, because all the living organisms only can respond to the external stimuli. If I beat this podium, then will it respond? No. If I slash you, then you will definitely respond. If I pinch you, then definitely you will scream, you will shout, you respond. If I touch a touch me not plant, which scientific name is Mimosa pudica, it will withdraw its leaves. That means it is responding to the external stimulus. Touch is a stimulus, correct? If I prick the needle to you, immediately, if you prick a needle to your hands, immediately you will withdraw your hands. Stimulus is pricking with the needle and withdrawing your hand is the response by you. So for every stimulus, there is a response in case of living organisms, but non-living organisms non-living organisms will not show this response. So without any exception, response to stimulus, external stimulus or stimuli plural, is the defining characteristic of all living organisms. So that is the option D. So dear students, we have discussed around 9 questions in today's session, and with more questions come in the next sessions. So note down all these questions, note down the points, and make my lecture notes. And thank you for watching the video.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.